this journey of emotional intelligence, as they say, wisdom, life, and growing in general. What do you think is one of the biggest difference from when you were younger to where you are now when it comes to emotional intelligence?
Good question, bro. I would say younger, earlier on, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really understand what it is that we call emotions, all of the feelings, those different senses. As I've gotten older, it's through experience. Uh, you know, I've learned to, by mistake, at certain sometimes of overreacting or maybe taking things too personally, or getting in my feelings, as one can say. Um, and you kind of just play that out. You see how that experience goes. Um, and I would say it took some time. It's hard to really put a age on it or a specific time point because it's come through experience and just growing and being me. But I would feel like not taking things so personally and holding myself accountable for everything
Hmm.
is the level I'm at now. For all of my interactions, the people that are in my life, even it could be from somebody I interact with for 5, 10 minutes in the grocery store, or somebody who is super close to me that I've been with around for years. I try to all of the interactions, everything I say, anything that I might feel some type of way or feel threatened by or anything like that is something within me.
Hmm.
And so I'm grateful that I've worked through a lot of these things within myself to be able to get to the point where I don't want to point the finger, and I'm able to control my emotions and also put myself in the shoes of others to empathize and understand their perspective as
Hmm.
well.
So would you say like that the more you've grown within knowing yourself, you've grown within having emotional intelligence?
For sure, for
They
sure.
go hand in hand.
Hand in hand. And with emotional intelligence, I think to me that speaks like emotional control. You can control your emotions regardless of
Control them or flow
of the
within,
environment.
being able to flow within them and
Flow within, but I say
redirect them to an
instead of saying
extent.
control, we could say transmute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's certain things that happen where somebody can try to piss you off, make you angry, irritate you. But if you don't allow them to, and you transmute that energy in a different way, redirect the conversation, redirect your energy, simply walk away, you
Hmm.
know, as opposed to taking it in a negative way, wanting to spaz out or anything like that.
And it's like hurt people,
Yeah, that part,
and you just
that
take
part.
whatever energy is and then be in a mirror instead of staying within your own solid, firm being of who you are,
Yeah.
and not allowing other people to influence in that. And that comes from the journey of, like you said, like knowing yourself better. And I can
Hmm.
say like one thing I can truly know I've grown from being a kid and even a younger adult was like not taking things so personal. Like even if it came to like the opposite sex of goddesses, I'd be like, oh, it's one shot, one kill with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, don't
Like
try
you
to come
get
back
that's it. You
around.
get one
You know
shot.
what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Like, nah, don't try to come around after you see the flow how I am.
Hmm.
Like, nah. But before and getting away from that, and not taking things personal. Like everybody's in their flow. Even with parents,
Hmm.
like with my dad and with my mom. Like I remember when I was in the military and I'm in basic and it hit me. I'm like thinking about how things were when I'm younger. Like when I had to work that summer, everybody else is in college. I'm not in college though. My dad don't want to pick me up from the college in Sanford, North Carolina. So I'm working this job, this little job for a week, this temp job for a week,
Okay.
and I get the check. Check's like $220. I get like $20 out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
They
I
they
just
take they taking all of
no, my
theirs.
dad cashed it because he got the
There
what's it
he. I
called, and he said
he taking
he
all of
needed
it.
it for
I'm
yada
just saying,
yada.
man.
You know what I'm saying at that time, and I'm like,
Got you.
man, like I'm like, I'm salty. Like, nah, this ain't supposed to be my life. But it hit me like when I was in the military, when I was in basic, that like if you don't want to take. No parent wants to take the money from their kid, and if you didn't have that, then maybe something was about to. You gotta have a roof over your head. Gotta have
Exactly.
food to
Lights gonna
eat.
get cut off. Something. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It needed it. He
even though
needed
it's
it.
not ideal, and you like, yo, you could have did things better. That wasn't the reality. That wasn't how life was supposed to be. So at that point in time, I grew to another level within emotional intelligence and thinking about things in a different perspective, instead of just being in my light of how I was seeing it
Victim.
as a child. You know, that like, nah, man, nah, this ain't supposed to be like that. I could easily flow that way instead of being more in a inner understanding. So I could say like that was another thing of growth, especially when it came to like parents, even my mom, and understanding like certain ways she was with us growing up. It's like she was who she was supposed to be. She is who she is, and
Mm-hmm.
I love her no matter what, unconditionally. I feel like that's one of the highest. Just coming to my spirit is like one of the highest levels of emotional intelligence is being able to reach that level of unconditional love. That'd be one of the main things for me. Would you have any like some different ones that you add on to that?
I mean, I think that's the most powerful, unconditional love. I feel like when you reach that level within yourself, you've done the work within yourself to clean up what you have in your closet, you know what I'm saying, your demons, things like that. And you're able to show empathy in a different way where, like for myself, bro, I feel like it's been a gift since I was a shorty. I just didn't really understand it until I got older, is to empathize and really feel what other people are feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I can pick up really quickly when I'm operating an ego or
Uh-huh.
operating from outside of unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe unconditional love is the highest form of emotional intelligence, emotional awareness. Have you seen the movie? Wow, I can't. It's the Disney movie where all of the emotions.
Oh,
Inside
Inside
Out,
Out.
Inside Out,
Yes,
Inside
yes,
Out.
yes. I seen the second one.
Okay, that
Fire.
that fire for sure, and I believe that's a beautiful depiction of. Obviously it's creative, funny, but it's a good depiction of how how our emotions can operate, how many different emotions we have. And
Mm-hmm.
number two, you saw anxiety, and there was a few other emotions that come as the journey evolves and as you
Yes.
grow and as you experience more. So I want to ask you, as you've grown, as you've gotten older, coming from where you've come from, what advice or what recommendations could you give to somebody to increase their level of emotional intelligence?
It's like we said before. It's like once you know yourself, you know the world. You know, you know other people. So sitting with yourself more,
Mm-hmm.
getting to know your emotions, like the movie Inside Out, and how you express and how these emotions express themselves within you. You know, you can give them a name like in Inside Out,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like really getting to know how you express these emotions, and then once you know how you express these emotions and how when they come across, you can be able to catch them. Like, oh, okay, I'm in my annoyed stage right now. I can see it. My nose is starting to flare up. I can see like I ain't really believing what this nigga is saying.
These little
I can't
things.
fight it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you can be able to peep small little differences within your frequency, within what you're projecting out, or your energy, your emotions. So with that, you'll be able to understand other people's emotions and
Mm-hmm.
what they may be projecting, what they may be what they may be projecting onto you, or just with their own flow. And then you can be like, okay, I see what's going on. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, I'm not even gonna go there. It's not me.
What we call it, reading the room. It's
Yeah,
like reading the energy.
yeah,
You know,
it's
you can.
not me. You're not really mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
Something else is going on. I'm not going to even because you have that understanding of energy of knowing yourself, so you know other people.
Brody, not to cut you off, man, but what you're saying is so powerful. But it takes, I feel like, to work at the highest level, it takes both parties. Both parties, in order for you, for you to start noticing, I'm starting to get irritated. I'm starting to breathe a little bit.
Mhm.
Now, you can tell me you need some space, or maybe you don't even communicate that. I'm aware of that. I'm not taking it personal. I'm
Mhm.
gonna exit stage left, give you some time. Don't mean I'm ignoring you. Don't mean we can't come back to this later. Things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's just like understanding yourself. Like you say, you start to understand others, especially when you're around somebody. You're
Yes,
spending a lot of
because
time and energy with them.
really think about it and you really look at it and analyze emotions and energies. Like if anger is the name, how does that usually project itself? You know, it's from an animal, you know, to a
Right,
baby, to a kid.
aggressiveness.
You know, how does that project itself? How does sadness usually project itself.
Exactly.
You know, shyness usually project
Mm-hmm.
itself.
Mm-hmm.
You can really
Not just
see,
verbally too.
no,
Verbally, body
if you really
language.
sit there and think
Mm-hmm.
about it, and then you can really see
Mm-hmm.
within that, you more than likely you project it out in a similar way,
Mm-hmm.
just in small different instances.
Agreed, bro.
So it won't be that hard to be able to read energies and see what energies is being projected in certain times, in certain manners.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then at the same time, it's still up to you as far as how you're going to, transmute and harmonize within,
That part.
those energies and then everything like that. So, I think at the end of the day, you know, it's all starts with, as I would say, with Michael Jackson, man, the mirror. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It all
Looking
starts
within
with
that
self.
reflection, man.
Everything starts with self.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you're within, like, understanding yourself, being, giving yourself grace with things, it's gonna be external with other people and
For
other
sure.
people's living decisions and how they decide to live their life and what they have projected out, and what you have experienced within experiencing them.
For sure. I think one thing too, bro, that comes with uh, having a high level of emotional intelligence is, as you say, we're sitting with ourselves, but you learn your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You learn what you can put up with, what you're cool with, how far somebody can push you.
Mm-hmm.
If you deal with somebody and there's a blow up or a bad situation, it can really let you sit back and analyze. Do I want to step back into this again? Do I want to give them some energy again? You know what I'm saying? But when you're at a high level of understanding, it from my perspective, it helps you make that decision a lot easier. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Without all the fog or like, maybe I was tripping. It's like, nah, you felt
Yep.
what you felt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And now move forward accordingly and in a respectful manner. It don't gotta be no beef. Don't gotta be none of the riffraff, none of that. Cause when you are able to communicate in a healthy way, not a toxic way, you see you don't have to get so hyped and riled up, and things can just be cool. We can
Yeah.
disagree and still be chill.
But that goes to say, if that was to happen, it shows where their level of within handling certain emotions are for them. You know.
Yeah.
So within that, you're like, oh, yep, I can already tell. This is not gonna go
Let's go ahead
anywhere.
and pack this
I'm
one
just gonna
on
be
up.
talking to a wall. Love, peace, and love, and joy.
And then at that point, it's on you. How much if you want to continue to rock with this person, you know what I'm saying, or rock with that type of energy.
Is how you say that, within this all unconditional love, do you feel like, is there any people within your journey that you feel like you may still hold some negative maybe type energy towards? Like it's not really love, or is it just like it's love, but I really just don't rock with you like that?
At this moment of my journey, brother, I truthfully can say there's nobody that I'm connected to or have experienced or has experienced me that I would not give unconditional love to. If physically, in every aspect.
Which
Um,
which not to cut you up on, has there been like specific people within your life, maybe like your parents, that you may have like had a long journey of,
for
or
sure.
really coming to understanding as far as that experience with them?
One that comes to my mind for sure is my pops, my dad. Um, when I was young, some of the things that he would say or do, the way he would move, just watching him, observing him, because he didn't talk a whole lot either. He would keep to himself. I was working the graveyard shift, so when I'm active, he's sleep. You know what I'm saying? Or so it just I wasn't seeing much of him. As I got older, as I started to understand things differently, share more experiences with other people, and grow my level of emotional intelligence, I was able to sit back and say, okay, yeah, Pops did this, that, and the third. But what about putting myself in his shoes, his perspective, his experience, his journey? You know what I'm saying? And then when
Mm-hmm.
I when we really unpack that and go deeper, I started talking to the family, asking questions like, hey, I need a better understanding of who my pops really was. Who was he as a shorty? His mom's passed away. My grandma passed away when he was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So as tight as I am with my mom, Dukes, I could just imagine going from 13 and beyond without my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Different things like that allowed me to look at my dad in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
And then you combine that with salute to you, Pops, for him growing his levels of maturity
Mm-hmm.
and his understanding and not taking things so personally. And we was able to mend a whole lot of misunderstanding and
Mm-hmm.
just whatever in the past and move forward. And man, my pop's super tight now, bro. Like when I was a shorty, I would necessarily couldn't have called it this way. I maybe didn't know. I mean, I knew my higher self knew always what time.
That was likewise
Uh,
with me and my pops. I didn't like him really at that for bear as a younger. I didn't understand the dynamic of, having my brother and my sister, and that's not really his biological kids, but my mom's with him, so he's bringing them in.
right.
So,
Mhm.
and I can think about when we talk when I moved with him in North Carolina. That's when you actually got to have a talk, sit down talk, and that's when I got to truly understand, like from his perspective, like yo, I'm just, and if it seemed that way, I was just maybe I'm trying to give a lot of energy to make up for the fact that their dad is not around, and you seem like you're
Do you
good.
know how old you was? I didn't want to, and with that conversation with your dad,
Ah man,
or just like
I
around.
was 16,
Okay,
probably gonna turn
so y'all to
17.
really sit down and had
Yes,
that.
yes, yes, yep. I remember I was
That's
in the kitchen, and I
got
just
you.
told him, I was like, yeah, I felt like as a kid, I was like, I felt like that you loved them more than you love me, and I'm like, I'm your son. Like I was like, I couldn't really talk to you. I felt like unless it was about
Ooh-wee. It's a real
basketball, you know what
spill,
I'm saying?
bro.
So then we got to really have that conversation, and I'm like, then I got to understand, like, ah, I get it, So that right there was major. But then that relationship being really, really by bond really happening. And then even before he passed, like remember, like I, blessed my dad with some money here and there because he's the type of his goddess needs something he don't want. He don't want to say he don't got it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause you want to be the man of the crib.
Uh-huh.
So
Got you.
I know you don't want to ask
You
me,
want to
but
make sure
yeah,
the
but
God is hit. He make sure the God is good, and
and
he'll
I
go
ain't, and
without
I
if
didn't
need be.
understand this was the type of man he was to an extent until like my mom told me later. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why is God saying help him? See, got a job, yada yada.
See, these be
You
the
know what I'm saying?
questions, though, bro.
So,
They
but
need answers.
not thinking about how he is, But and at the time, I was like, I'm sat with myself. I was like, at the end of the day, it's just paper. There's some money. I was like, but that's my pops. He loves me. If I need anything, he got it. I got it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gravy. Like I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
let some money be like, F my pops. And since I wasn't like that, me and him were conversing and talking like every day until he passed. Not even that randomly. I remember being in the bathroom when I thinking about that, like not not having that mindset of letting money affect my relationships with people. Because if people didn't pay me back my money, but
Holding that
they,
principle
yeah,
and hold.
like just because the
Yeah.
principal they ain't pay me back my money, I'm not gonna rock with them. When I know in certain other aspects within life they have me. They're gonna be there for me no matter what. Just because they didn't give me back this money in this point of time, whatever they had to go. If they had it. I know they would have blessed me. But if I needed something, if I need a place to stay, I'm down. I know they would have blessed me. So
They got you in other
I remember
ways.
thinking about that, before he passed away. But that was like, and that was like I had an appreciation for like myself. I gave myself grace. Like, man, you did that. Man, I'm glad you. That's why you.
Salute,
That's why
brother.
you don't. That's why you
Salute,
don't
baby.
hold grudges or
Man,
take things certain personal because of certain aspects within it. You can think bigger picture within it all. In certain aspects and gain different perspective insights, and then go with which one you want to go with, and that's on you. You're not wrong or right. With it, whatever you decide is on you. But that was something that I really was thankful for learning at that time, and even for friends I have now, certain aspects of certain things like that happening. It's like at the end of the day, I know if I need anything, like it got me. That's not the end all be all. It's just like one aspect of life experience.
I got you. I think that in itself takes a lot of, I don't know what the word, but just to be able to give them grace. Takes,
Hmm.
got to be gracious to give that.
With all
Not
relationships, not to
with
cut you off,
with
because
everybody,
even
with everybody.
exes and things that they like could be females that done did you wrong,
Hmm.
did you dirty,
Dirty.
and it could be some people might be like F them for life, F that. F. No, she was doing what at the end of the day people were doing what they want. and they're doing was, and if that's what they wanted, that was what they felt was gonna make them happy
Mm-hmm.
within their journey. So who am I to be mad at them to
For
okay,
doing what they
yeah.
for being
So
them.
I can give you grace. I don't have to hate you and because you're not even feeling that. My body's feeling that. I'm pumping
Right.
chemicals, hurting myself because I'm holding on to this hurt, this pain of you just did this to me. You didn't do what I wanted you to
Trying to
do, what I
control
expected
shit.
you to do. And now I'm feeling all this emotionally certain type of emotions. I think that right there will really get to a point of emotional intelligence with that. They'd be like, yo, if I'm over here feeling this pain and this hurt or and this anger at this person, they're not. I'm really gonna be the one hurting myself
Mm-hmm.
because what's pumping in my spirit, pumping in my soul. I'm not gonna be at peace. I'm not gonna be in harmony, and you really can kill yourself.
Literally.
So being thinking about it in that way, you can be like, okay, I can give that person love. It's all good. And if you want to get deeper with it, knowing that hey, if everybody is you, you're everyone. They're doing what you need. They needed what you needed them to do, so you can do what you need to do within
On your
this to be
journey.
what you need to be within your journey within this movie we call life.
Wow, wow. Say that again. Man, and you know, I believe for myself, once I got to a level of seeing it in that light, shit changed, bro. It's like no more blaming, there's no more victimization. Everything happens for me, not to me. And it's
Mm-hmm.
all a part of the journey.
Yes.
And, you know, nothing can kill me, nothing, everything is here to teach me. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the emotions, they can be screaming at you, trying like, oh no, we want to get angry right now, we want to turn up. We can go there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but the more time that you're able to spend flowing within the emotions,
Mm-hmm. Learning how to ways you can transmute within the emotions. Shit.
then
There's been one time
everything
I'm
is
driving
love.
and I'm in my car. I mean, I just got in an accident. Swerved down wealthy, man. I took a hit. Spot. I called my mom. I'm like, damn, I'm bringing it
You
back.
in some ice or something? Or
Yeah,
you
bro. I
just
was in the
okay,
winter,
okay,
bro.
okay, okay. I'm like,
And
how
the
you?
universe was protecting me. I was driving Uber. It's late as hell. You know what I'm
Got you,
saying?
got you,
So
got you.
I
And
said
the
I was gonna
Audi
pick,
boy.
and there was still surging. So I'm like, I was just gonna get a lighter. But I'm like, I'm still gonna go get this money. It's surging, bro.
There's ice on the
And
ground.
the
No,
ride is on the west side. You already know it's still the west side. But long story short, after I crashed, it's the perfect pocket of place. I crashed that to be able to drive off.
Mm.
Hit the pole. I driving back, and my mom's on the phone. I'm like, Mom, just crashed, man. I'm about to come back to the house to go smoke, man. And I'm like, I'm driving. I'm just like, ah. And I'm
Letting that out, letting it
ah. She's
out,
like,
letting it
Mom,
out.
she's like, relax. I'm like, nah, Mom, I'm good. I was like, I
Man,
just need to release
let this
this
shit
energy.
out.
I was like, deep down, I'm good. But I was like, but this energy needs to be released, and it's
Yes,
in my
sir.
car. There's nobody.
Like
It's in,
a
so I can
safe space.
ah.
It's fire.
I had to get that shit out some way.
Yeah,
So you
bro.
can figure out different
Yes,
ways. It could be
bro.
like, all right, I'm gonna go to the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
They about to get
About
buckets
to get
today.
what? They're gonna be
You
like, you
know, if
playing
you
like you need a
box,
contract or
go
something.
hit some punching
Mm-hmm.
bags. You know, go run. You can
Come on.
go figure out different ways to be able to release and transmute that energy. Go
Mm-hmm.
frolic outside. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And
and this is
yell.
all physical. I know for some people, if you get to a certain point, you can transmute that into sitting and meditating, sitting and reading,
Mm-hmm.
sitting like just
Creating.
creating, making
Yes.
music. Come
Why
on,
people
man.
make a lot of hits when they get sad and emotional.
What?
They
Some
putting
of the
all that
best,
into that
some of the
pen.
best
All that
R&B.
energy is just it's all transmutation. It's all
Mm-hmm,
you.
mm-hmm.
So all that creative, all them emotions, you can use emotions for good things.
Yes.
You know, they don't have to be bad. You can feel the anger. You can take that like, it pissed me off,
But it's
man. Good God. Why don't she listen? All right. Man, I'm about to go right in this journal, man. I've been running to write a song in the first place.
Whoa.
I just don't get why you don't love me enough. I gave my heart, but just never enough. What? What?
The next thing you know, you got some
Got a
cats,
hit.
and everybody else that have been through that or going through that is like, sing that shit, bro.
They feeling it. They done been there. But you just
Yo.
transmuted all those feelings,
Mhm.
all those emotions.
Instead of on a serious note,
Mm-hmm.
really wilding out, going after, you know what I'm saying, trying to choke, trying to put your hands,
Mm-hmm.
pulling a weapon,
Or releasing it out. You can create.
punching the wall, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's
You
so
can punch the
many.
wall before having to. You look
Never
like you
punched the
punch
wall, Brody.
walls.
No, no, no. Never punched the
You
wall.
hit but a
One of
wall
my old
before?
goddesses, she punched the wall.
You hit but a wall before?
No, sir.
All
I've
right,
yelled
so
in pillows.
I definitely had them pillows.
Went out, take a run, take a cold. I did a cold shower before. Yeah, yeah. Go to the gym, basketball court is,
Your safe haven.
man, what? That's the sanctuary. That's the sanctuary. Go there to release and transmute all of that energy.
Mm.
Get fucking buckets.
Yeah, it's strap on D. It's like a
Yeah,
Warriors
like,
battlefield,
yeah, and they be like, damn, why?
and you don't,
We just playing pickup, bro. Like, nah, not today.
and you can just say, "I'm here to win."
Which is the
But that's what,
mentality anyway.
but it's the perfect transmutation of them understanding what type of time you're on.
In certain aspects, brother, basketball has saved me from different going down different obstacles, different avenues, different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And not just playing basketball, but the camaraderie of the people. You know, coming across, meeting teammates, coaches. So yeah, that's a whole
That's
nother,
stuff we talked about.
whole nother
Yeah.
thing, whole nother topic. Yeah.
Stand out in the groove. Yeah, I'm never in the loop. All family, no crew. The only nigga from me, Benjamin Blue. Accountable, I ain't listening to. Nothing outside of myself. I'ma do me. You should follow suit. You can see it in my aura. I'm the gold in the room. I be pulling from the moon. Heard the starlight in you. I'm flowing like water. Stay glued to the soil. Fire in me, I'm boiling. When I'm gone.
I had to look in that self-account, get a new pic, develop who I am. Had to detach from my own genes, old habits, new lens, validate who I'm letting in. Gave too much, feeling less than. I finally know my worth and my value in setting.
Love me the most when they praying on my downfall, hoping that I lose it all. Love me the most, even when they short me, I'ma stand tall. Love me the
Yo, I'm proud of us, Brody. We finally did this. Oh God, we did.